This is 365 Days of Movies, a series where I look at my top 365 movies. So let's go to the next movie. Number 48, Star Wars Episode 7, The Force Awakens. Rating, 9.53. Released in 2015, directed by J.J. Abrams, starring Harrison Ford, Mark Hamill, Carrie Fisher, Adam Driver, Daisy Ridley, John Boyega, Oscar Isaac, Lupita Nyong'o, Andy Serkis, Domhnall Gleeson, Anthony Daniels, Peter Mayhew, and Max von Sydow. 30 years after the defeat of the Galactic Empire, Han Solo and his young allies face a new threat from evil Kylo Ren and the First Order. When this movie came out, I was floored. It was a new Star Wars, a sequel this time, and continuing the story with my favorite, cast and a new cast. And I love the movie from beginning to end, watched it many times, and I don't understand a lot of the pushback. There was someone who wrote an article about the 50 plot holes in the movie, and then wrote a follow-up of another 50 plot holes, and it was as if this person had never actually watched the movie because all those plot holes were not plot holes. There were plot holes in the movie, but none of the 50 and the second 50 that they mentioned were plot holes. The only plot hole that I can think of, really, that really struck me every time I watched the movie, even the first time, is when Starkiller Base fires, the laser, and they're supposedly in a star system far, far away, and then also the people, like Han Solo and those, are also on a planet in a different star system, and then those lasers are fired at planets in a third star system. So these laser bolts are apparently moving at faster than light speed because they have to get to another star system, which means they have to move at faster than light, which means the people watching them in a third star system couldn't possibly see them because they're moving faster than light, and therefore the light would not hit their eyes and they wouldn't see it. So obviously that was an artistic license, and it's not that big of a deal, but it is a plot hole. And that's, pretty much the only really big one that I can think of. But there's others who think that this is just a complete remake of Star Wars Episode 4, A New Hope, and they're also wrong because there was no, new Jedi who was a little girl left on a desert planet who was a junker. There was no, trooper who was kidnapped as a little boy who was indoctrinated into a fascist organization who then switches sides and joins the rebels. There was no hotshot pilot who's been with the rebellion for many years, who's a great leader that's looked up to by everybody. There's no Snoke. There's no First Order. There's there are the original characters, and there's a secret base, or not so secret base, that fires lasers and destroys planets, and that's about it. So it's not really, in any way, a remake. Now, there was someone who had mentioned that, pretty much every series, the movies in a series, that in a successful series anyway, are always very similar to each other and homages to each other because they're part of a series, and you don't want to alienate the fans of that series, and they want to feel like it really is part of that series. And of course, it's in a universe, every series is in their own universe, that has certain aspects about it, and those things follow from one another and interlace and, reference each other. So, Empire Strikes Back is a remake of A New Hope, and Return of the Jedi is a remake of both of those, so on and so forth, if you believe that Episode 7 is just a remake of Episode 4. So I guess I didn't actually talk about how great the movie was, other than not anyway the specifics of greatness, just the way that the story flows and how the characters meet each other and the various locations they go to and the mystery and then finally the solution that Han Solo comes up with and how this one moment especially between Rey and Finn, when Finn goes to rescue her, and the way that she reacts to that because she's never had a family. It's just amazing, and I think that everyone did a great job with this movie, and it's one of my favorite Star Wars movies. So, I assume you've all watched it. Go watch it again. Hey everybody, this has been 365 Days of Movies. We're going to keep plowing ahead. So let me know what you think of this movie, and if you want to discuss it further, comment below. If I get a lot of interest, I may very well make a full review of the movie, maybe even a video essay. So let me know what you think, and let's get to the next one.